also has about 850 acres of usable farmland. And lastly, we rent out some of our acreage to the Nittany Antique Machinery Show. This show happens twice a year, happens the weekend after Memorial Day and the weekend after Labor Day. I always highly encourage everybody to come and check it on out, as it is a very unique show and the biggest of its kind east of the Mississippi. If anybody on this bus owns that RV, you have a really cool RV. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to back up the bus here. This animal is a buffalo. The other some of you who thinks that it's both, and I'm just tricking you guys. Yeah, the other some of you. Alright, if you guys guessed bison and only bison, you are correct, so good job. Alright, now as you guys can mostly kind of see-ish here, bison's horns grow more out of the sides of their heads, while buffalo horns grow more out of the tops of their heads. Bison also have that very distinct hump at the base of their neck. This is due to a fused vertebrae. This helps them plow through snow during the winter time so they can get to their food source. A buffalo has a flat back like a cow does. Lastly is location. Bison are primarily found in North America and in Europe, while buffalo are primarily found in Asia and Africa. Now, earlier, or are you guys going later today?
Earlier.
Mostly earlier? Alright, some later? Got it. Alright, awesome. If you look straight ahead at that white pavilion, directly 75 feet below that is the entrance to our cave. And if you look behind us at those white barns, that is where the exit of the cave is. Now during the cave tour, they talked about something called cave kisses. Cave kisses is where a drop of water falls from the ceiling, and if it happens to land on you, it's supposed to mean good luck. In the ground with some fencing around it. That is the original cave entrance. It was discovered back in the late 1700s by Reverend James Martin. You folks are more than welcome to go on up and check it on out after our tour. Now, as I said at the beginning of our tour, Penn's Cave has about 850 acres of usable farmland. With that, we do grow our own crops. Some of those crops are corn, hay, alfalfa, clover, and sunflower. We do get those crops for our animals to eat, and any surplus we have, we do sell to local feed stores. Call them the Lucky Buck Program. Now, we don't have too many deer in these first two enclosures, so we're going to go by real slow. Seeing any here, so we're just going to keep going forward. Okay, folks?
I see him. Yeah, I see him.
Just a baby.
Oh,
I see some up ahead in the third enclosure, so we're gonna go there so you guys can like actually see them and not try and play Where's Waldo. Or I Spy, whichever you prefer. Alrighty, so we are gonna go inside of our next animals enclosure. So again, please keep everything inside the bus at all times. And if they do decide to come up and greet us, please do not reach out and pet them. Thank you.
Talking to you, Carol. Oh yeah, there's a guy playing sitting in the same way up there. There's two of them. 3, 4. Well, there were 2 deer sitting down. There's 1 deer sitting down. Yeah, something. I can't tell what those are. More deer back there, you see them lying down. Oh wow. There's a lot.
Alrighty, I found all of our deer now. They're over here mostly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're gonna definitely felt some bumps. Okay, hold on. Where is Theodore?
He's up in a hill. Alrighty, like I was saying, and yeah, just keep looking out to your right. Yeah.
Angle, he was hiding. Alright, so, yes, okay, that actually is Theodore up there. That deer.
You okay?
You guys can stand up and move around if you want, that's why I turned off. Alrighty, this road that we just entered on is known as Stagecoach Road. Way back before automobiles were invented, folks used to take the train up to Springfield, Pennsylvania, and they'd hop on the stagecoach, travel down this road and enjoy the beautiful scenery like you folks are, and then eventually they'd end up at the Penn Hotel, where they would spend the night and then be on their merry way the next day. Coming up on your left, this big old rock jutting out. This is limestone, and this is primarily what our cave is made out of. And if you look to your right across Lake Nittany, that dark-looking corner, that is where the exit of the cave is. What you can see is a dark corner to that fog and mist. Now, whether you notice this now or on your cave tour, Lake Nittany has a really pretty bluish-greenish color to it, and this is due to all the minerals coming out of our cave. Once you see your right across Lake Nittany, where you can see through the fog there, you'll notice an embankment and some trees that are very strategically planted. This is known as green bank fencing. All those trees are planted within PVC piping, which allows the roots to get nice and deep into the soil. All this is done to help prevent bank erosion. As I make this turn, and if you look to your right, you'll notice our spillway. That spills in the Penn Creek, and all that water eventually ends up in the Chesapeake Bay, as we're in the Chesapeake watershed. That spillway contributes about 11 million gallons of water per day, which equals to about 127 gallons per second. Now, to your right, you'll notice that what we have here is known as an end habitat. An end habitat is where two different habitats come together. In this instance, we have a forest and a grassland, which provides the best of both worlds for some animals, as it gives them the covers of a forest or the openness of a grassland. Some
the woods there are foxes, deer, Bigfoot, eagles, and
Bigfoot.
turkeys. So keep your eyes peeled, folks.
Just throws that in.
Alright, if you folks look to your left and up on the hill.
Guys up there, these are our Longhorns. Christopher Columbus. 5 Longhorn burgers is equivalent to 1 regular burger in fat content. So unfortunately, they were kind of left to their own devices and almost went extinct. But some families down in Texas thought that these guys are really cool and wanted to keep them around. That's why they are sometimes referred to as in this point, though.
Take a picture.
There, yeah, he's coming down for some treats. Okay, so you two especially proceed to the route. Like for real. In these first 2 seats, be extra careful because he's gonna come right up here for some treats. So as I was saying, males and females do grow those long, beautiful horns. Just the females don't get quite as long as the males.
We got a couple of them coming.
Gonna be surrounded.
Oh no.
You're surrounded now.
All right. Just remember what I said, folks. We got a lot coming now. Not even just the one.
Yeah, there's a couple of them trotting down through.
Hands up! Bring yourself in! Oh, yes,
Hey, big man.
No.
Look at
A lot of flies on.
Oh, this is going to
Red, let your sister get.
Oh wow.
There's a couple little ones up through.
Guys, I just looked over. The whole herd's coming down. Hands up again on your guys' whatever this side is, passenger side.
Passenger side. Careful.
Look
at that one.
Mother deer.
Yeah, the whole herd's coming at this point, folks, so we're going to be kind of surrounded.
Alright, Deb. The whole herd is gonna come.
Oh, look at this guy. This one coming right at you.
Alright, I got the closest storm, unfortunately, so the cows are sleeping.
Safari today.
Yeah, that's Jetway. He's our breeding bull. So I learned if I see him coming, just to close the door.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they kind of do.
Look, my initials are in this one.
What's in your face?
My initials are in that one. Hello. Hello.
That's easier.
super quick so everybody can enjoy the beautiful misty view of Penn's Cave and Wildlife Park and parts of Penn's Valley. Once I make this left-hand turn, the enclosure will be on your right. If anybody sees anything, please feel free to point it on out. They might look like a fuzzy log. Oh, I see one coming. Hold on, folks. Guys, sit down, please.
Wow. 2 of them. There's 2 of them. God, I want one of those.
Mocha, come here.
Look at names.
Look at that fur.
Look at that.
Come on, Mocha.
He's not eating his treat.
Charles. Get that one.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are our Timberwolves. This is Charo, right here next to me, the light gray one.
Yeah.
And that darker one back there is Mocha.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mocha.
Now, Timberwolves are a subspecies of the gray wolf. They can be found in parts of northern Michigan, Minnesota, and Canada. Now, as many of you may know, wolves live within a pack, and within a pack is a hierarchy system. At the top of that hierarchy system is the alpha male and alpha female. They're going to have breeding rights, and they're going to make the decisions for... Oh, that's Samson. I'm really excited, because he's usually really shy,
The third one.
so I'm really glad he came up to see you guys.
There's a third one coming.
She knows.
There's a third one coming.
Samson!
Who's the top of the hierarchy in their side?
There's really no like a true hierarchy here, just because there are all siblings and they all get the same amount of food, water, and space. Kind of currently at the moment is Charo, so that's why I keep looking at them when I'm giving them treats, because she likes to steal the treats. So yeah, it kind of switches, and there's just like not a true one.
What's their age?
All right, let me finish the spiel, and then it'll answer most of your guys' questions. I talked about the alpha male and alpha female for the hierarchy system. Below that, their second in command is going to be their beta. Below the beta is going to be the subordinates, which make up the majority of the pack. And then finally, the last man on the totem pole is going to be the omega. Now, the omega gets last choice and last say and pretty much everything. So sometimes they'll get real sick of this, and then they'll go off on their own and start their own packs. Now, as many of you also may know, wolves and domestic dogs are very closely related to each other. But there's still a big difference between the two. As you guys can see with them walking, if I can get them to follow me. Here, guys, down here. There we go. Their back paw falls in line with their front paw. This is to leave as little tracks as possible out in the wild. Your dog at home is going to have a lot more willy-nilly walk because they're safe with you. Now, Timberwolves also have a curved canine tooth. This is so they can hold on to their prey and rip into meat. Your dog at home is going to have more of a straight canine because their food gets handed directly right to them. Lastly, one of the biggest differences is going to be their bite force. A big dog like a German Shepherd is going to have a bite force of 750 pounds per square inch. While a Timberwolf's bite force is going to be 1,500 pounds per square inch. That can easily break your femur, and your femur is one of the strongest bones in the body. So I wouldn't want to be playing around with these guys like I would with my dog at home. Now, as I said, these guys do eat meat. They are carnivores. This is a beef dog treat that I'm giving them. They get a zoological mixture of meat every day, 24-hour access to a grain-free dog food, and lastly, anything that gets inside their enclosure is buried inside the enclosure, and all anybody found the next day was just feathers. So, despite their age, these guys have themselves a big old Thanksgiving meal to themselves. Our wolves are about 12 years old. In the wild, they live to be about 7 to 8 years old, and in captivity, they can reach their early teens. Right, now I got time for questions. What do you guys got for me? Yes, sweetie.
Can you pet them?
Kind of. I really can't because they don't know me and I don't really know them, but we do have some people who did bottle raise them from when they were little babies, and they can go inside and pet them and be with them, and it's okay. But the people who do that, they still have that respect that they are.
Oh yeah, up on top of their own pile. It's all curled up.
Ready to sleep. Look at the nest.
top of the rocks over there.
Come on, bud, you gonna wake up?
Oh, there's a black one.
That is a black one. So adorable. Take a picture of that one.
Over this way, okay? My bad.
Oh.
Do you see him, Denise? Look at that tail. Jesus.
Oh, isn't he cute?
Kira, don't they remind you of
Is that a
Kate's tail?
Is that a?
Yeah.
Looks like a male, man.
Oh my goodness.
Stand up here. You can't go out there. You can stand up here though and watch him. Turn around.
Hi.
I didn't play any throwing sports. I did all the kicking sports. Come on, guys. Come out in the middle. Come on. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of our foxes. That silver one is my best buddy Sly. As you guys saw and heard, he comes down right as soon as I call him. And that's his brother right there, Swiper, that red one.
Swiper.
Now, yeah, Swiper. Now, we actually got 6 foxes total in here. We got 4 red foxes and 2 gray foxes. Tell the difference between a red fox and a gray fox. Oops, sorry. It's okay, it's fur, bounce right off. The tell the difference between a red fox and a gray fox is the tips of their tail. A red fox is going to have a white tip tail, and a gray fox is going to have a black tip tail. Now you guys are probably really confused at my best buddy Sly there. He is known as a silver fox. This is just a more melanistic form of the red fox, meaning that they have darker fur and darker skin. Now, a male fox is called a Todd, a female is called a Vixen, and their offsprings are called kits or pups. They can have about 3 to 5 per litter, sometimes 10, but that's pretty rare. Now, these guys are fully grown. They're about 5 years old. In the wild, they live to be about 5, and in captivity, they can reach their early teens. One reason why these guys don't live quite as long in the wild is due to their diet. As I said before, these guys are opportunistic omnivores, which means that they're going to eat their fruits and vegetables, but they're also going to eat meat. Whether it's roadkill, previously killed animals, or animals that they hunt. This sometimes includes red meat, which unfortunately tends to upset their digestive system, causing them to get sick and not live as long. So here we just give them strictly...
Alrighty, our last couple animals are going to be up on this hill to your right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back the way we came, do a loop, and then drive on up the hill. Also on top of that hill is an unmanned airport. See the Federal Aviation Lawn.
That's a ditch.
How many humans do you raise in this exhibit? How many humans?
Alright.
Stay over here, Denise. And Carol.
You guys want to keep maybe move down just a little bit because he likes to walk up and down the length of the enclosure. Yeah, oh, maybe not.
Hey, Bear.
What's his name?
This one, let me see your face. This one's Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar.
How about take her?
Yeah. Oscar.
You gotta take. What's that? Some vegetation that's safe for him to eat. There you go. Yeah, use your tongue. He is actually being really lazy. Okay,
Oh.
hold on. Okay.
Oscar.
Oscar. Hey.
Oscar.
Okay, there you go. Use your tongue. Alright, sometimes I can, but he's actually like super lazy right now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. These are our black bears. We actually do got 2 of them. This is Oscar right here, and his brother Colonel's just taking a nap in the den right here behind me. He's super lazy. Now these guys are about 24 years old. In the wild, they'll reach their early 20s, and in captivity, they can reach their early 30s. These guys are about 300 to 400 pounds right now, and we're gonna get them up to about 600 pounds before winter starts. The reason why is we gotta get them ready for something called torpor. Now, torpor is just an extended version of hibernation. You got your true hibernators, like your groundhogs. These guys are gonna go to sleep whenever they want, and then they'll wake up every few days to eat and go to the bathroom. Torpor is different. It is involuntary. So whether they're ready or not, they're gonna fall asleep. They're gonna fall asleep and not wake up. They're also not gonna wake up to eat and go to the bathroom. So that's why they gotta bulk up so much, as they lose about half their body weight while they're sleeping. Now, mother black bears do give birth while they're asleep. Their cubs are about the size of a stick of butter. They just kind of hang out with mom until she wakes up. Now, these guys are omnivores. They're going to eat their fruits and vegetables, but they're also going to eat meat. I gave him some peanuts and some vegetation, like I said, that is safe for him to eat. I just always forget the name and get it really mixed up in my head. Now, these guys can hunt. So they can run about 30 miles per hour. But due to their awkward size and shape, as you can kind of see with them walking around, they can't really sustain that for long. So this makes them really good in other areas. It makes them really good diggers, swimmers, and climbers. The way that their claws are designed is that there's a muscle attached to each individual claw. This anchors to their spine, making them super dexterous. Now you guys are probably wondering what all that construction is going on down there, and this is a part of the bear's new enclosure. They'll have access to it from their current enclosure. That's what all that dark fencing is down there. Now, does anybody have any questions?
How big is the
average weight of the bear?
Average weight is going to be about 300 to 400 pounds, and then
Even in the wild.
even in the wild. Oh yeah, even in the wild. Yeah, no, these guys are pretty big around here. The biggest ever in the wild was about 900.
Wow.
That is truly massive. Now, I'll admit, down south, they actually are a lot smaller. I was down in Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains talking to a guy who works with bears, black bears. Their black bears were about 60 to 100 pounds. So when I said 300 to 400 pounds, they stared at me like I was crazy. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, they're 60 pounds. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? That's like my dog right there.
right?
Yeah.
So it's just a lot warmer down there. So that's just some interesting facts.
What's the new size of the enclosure going to be for them?
I unfortunately don't know the specific size, but you guys saw it when we were down there. It's right
Yeah.
next to the boxes, so it's about the same size as the boxes got, and then they have access to it up here too.
I was wondering why the beams were so much thicker.
Yeah. Gotta hold these guys
Right.
back. Any other questions? All good? All right. If you folks are ready, we're gonna stick together. So we're just gonna. What do you call a toothless bear? A gummy bear. Yeah. All right. Looks like we got everybody. You got going?
Denise, put the walnut down. Did you hear the joke?
Come over here, please.
What do you call a toothless bear? Look at these butterflies.
Wow.
Keep scooching, folks.
And do not climb on that.
Keep scooching.
Stay here.
Just got a couple more people to fit in.
Did you see him?
See the big kitty?
Come here.
You must be up,
I
Daddy.
will.
Oh yeah, she's totally a beauty queen. She's just like, "Ugh, why are you interrupting my sleep? Why are all these people here? She glares at me every day. Pretty typical. A cat is a cat, no matter if it's domesticated, wild, big or small. They are a cat at its core.
Yeah.
Alright,
Do
ladies
not
and
play in the
gentlemen.
rocks. She's already
Just
told
real
you
quick,
that.
everyone's got their people. We're not missing anybody? Alright. Okay, so this is Kit or Kit Kat or Bobcats. Bobcats are named for that short bobtail, which she's showing off right now. Now these guys do get commonly mistaken for their northern cousin, the lynx. The lynx is going to be slightly larger, fluffier, bigger paws, and longer ear tufts. Now these guys, there's bees everywhere. These guys have a unique form of coloration to them. They have a form of camouflage called counter shading. It's where they got that darker back and a lighter stomach. When they're up in a tree and a predator looks down at them, that dark speckled back is going to look like the forest floor. When a predator looks up at them, that light-colored stomach is going to look like light coming down through the trees. Now these guys aren't that fast. They can only run about 15 miles per hour, so they're an ambush predator. They'll typically go after like rabbits, groundhogs, animals like that. Now I do like to call these guys small but mighty because they can take down a small white-tailed deer completely by themselves. Females weigh up about 25 to 30 pounds and males weigh up about 30 to 35 pounds. I'll admit, she's a little chunkier than what she's supposed to be, so we're working on that right now. Males and females do grow those big beautiful horns, just the females don't get quite as big and spiraled as the males do. The males use their horns to battle each other for mating rights. What they'll do is they'll back up and they'll charge each other at 20 miles per hour and headbutt each other. This sometimes sounds like a gunshot going off, and this sound can be heard up to 2 miles away. Don't worry though, their brains are protected. Within their skulls are 2 plates. Within the 2 plates is an air pocket. Now, I like to say that these guys like to live life on the edge because they can jump from cliff edge to cliff edge very easily. I find this impressive because males weigh up about 275 pounds and females weigh up about 200 pounds. Lastly, oh, the whole squad's coming on up. Okay. It's like a music video right now or something.
Oh my gosh. That's just
Sit up, Denise.
why would you be looking?
Now, lastly, these guys are very unique. They are not purebreds. They are a mixture. A purebred would not be able to survive the climate and humidity here. So they are a mixture of an Asian Argali, a European Mouthland, an Alaskan Doll, and a Rocky Mountain Bighorn.